Hello, ladies and gentlemen. And how many things do we have going on in the sprint car world today? What am I talking about? Let me show you what I'm talking about. Well, there was a very interesting scenario that happened in the state of Pennsylvania during the Lincoln Speedway's Dirt Classic. And this was posted by Loose Video that says, "I cannot believe the comments to my wife and myself over an incident at Lincoln Speedway where I expressed my personal views. I respect everyone's opinion, but personal threats or attacks on us are uncalled for and completely scary. At this time, we are shutting Loose Video down. Please enjoy a 5-year library of our videos, and thank you to everyone, driver, team, track promoter, and everyone we ever talked to." Almost 700 likes, 255 comments. Now, that makes me think of this other post that I shared on my personal Facebook. You look at the comments here. "Due to these egos, I say the egos of dirt can't handle it. It's sad. The egos control the politics in dirt, and in my opinion, dirt politics are worse than NASCAR." Because at least NASCAR is regulation, and this is relating to Paul Clayton's post, who said, "I love the type of reporting people like Bob Pockrass, Matt Weaver, Jeff Gluck, and others in the NASCAR industry do. Regular sports, at least NASCAR has some kind of crossing T's and dotting I's and regulation on people within it. They are and he's trying to explain Bob Pockrass, Matt Weaver, these are NASCAR reporters. He said, "They are the people that I look up to. I thought I could bring that type of coverage to dirt racing. Not going to say I was never warned by friends, but I was naive. It's clear that type of reporting is not welcome in dirt racing. Racetracks and series want promotional and positive reporting. I'm starting to become the guy that nobody wants to show up at their races. It's unfortunate, but it's the reality. I've never been a grandstand type of person. I have an impulse to be involved somehow, some way. I just need to learn how to do that, and I don't know." Because he's wanting to provide real things that are effective, things that work. At least the Pockrass, the Weaver, the Glucks, their type of reporting, it works halfway. NASCAR's not that great and grand, but it works. The opinionated panels and stuff in other sports, it works. It's what builds the socialized drama for the fan base to watch on the track. So there's a race within a race and things and headlines and news stories and things to attract and watch. It's the right way of doing things. But as I said up here, the egos of dirt racing can't handle it. And it is sad. They can't handle normalcy. And then could the sport even handle it? You know, I've talked to a lot of people here recently, and they've pointed out how things running throughout the night within the sport could never be successful. It could never be professional. The things and how things operate are amateur. Amateur, pro-am, it slides right in there in the amateur hour of sports entertainment on the organizational side. And then race nights. So like right now we got this West Coast swing, and people are somewhat upset that, you know, the Skagit Midget feature went so long the other night. And that these West Coast races are keeping people up on the East Coast until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I had people complain about the Knoxville Nationals and how normal people, first-time tuner-inners, are not going to be up till midnight or 1 or 2 in the morning to watch. It doesn't even matter if it's the biggest race in the year. They don't see it that way. It's about introducing to people, and it doesn't work like that. You know, people have asked me, what do you think about support classes? They've got to get rid of the support classes. I understand that there's certain segments and time frames that you should have a support class in. But let's just say on World of Outlaw and national event support classes, you know, you got 25 laps or 10 minutes. One of the two's coming first. And if 10 minutes comes before 25 laps, you're out. Now, maybe 10 minutes is too long. Do shorter than that, whatever the break is that you need. But there are some things that are structurally unsound when it comes to how this sport is packaged and delivered. And unfortunately for our big-time World of Outlaw Sprint Car Series, High Limit Sprint Car Series is becoming the SRX. Because how High Limit's doing, it looks like, for the most part, got rid of support classes, they have been able to package their sprint car show within that professionalized time frame. Get it in, get it done, get it out, package it, sell it. And unfortunately, in taking a professional step, unfortunately for those who have the, lineage in this sport, like the World of Outlaws, the legacy, something like a High Limit can come around and in 2 to 3 years, in the more so grand socialized stage, be bigger than you. Because everything in this dirt thing is extremely small. All it takes is one guy to come in here and do it right and take it to the next level. And that's something a lot of people should be considering. Now, I'm over here on the West Coast Outlaw swing, potentially for the last time. I'm trying to check out some pretty cool things around in the area, and it's going to be very entertaining this week at Gold Cup, next week at Hanford, Placerville. It'll be very fun. That being a fan is possibly the greatest thing that you could be in this sport. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let's look at the Coliseum for a great example, as I would explain it and have explained it to a few people this week. You know, the sport is somewhat like the Coliseum, and if you are a fan of the sport, if you're up in the stands and you're watching the Christian warrior and the lion go at one another, it might be very entertaining and fun to watch the cars go around the track. But once you step out of that grandstand and you go under the stage, behind the scenes, and you see the Christian man being forced away from his family, kids crying, dad being given a sword and a shield, antagonized there, the guards slap the wife around as they take her away. Then you look across the way with the lion in the cage and they're stabbing him with the sword here, pricking him there, pissing him off, and then they go out onto the stage and do what you've always loved to watch. It kind of changes the mood or feeling of the sport in general, the whole entire show that's being put on. Is everybody doing that? No, there's always some needles and some haystacks, but there's a lot of haystacks. So just some thoughts on all this crap that's going on, been happening, and possibly the reason they don't want the people who run the dirt politics, the reason they don't want the Bob Pockrases or the Matt Weavers or the Jeff Gluck Styles in this industry. It's because they don't want what they're doing behind the scenes put on the stage as well. Because at least NASCAR has some form of vetting, form of policy, form of governmental body to protect the Pockrases, protect the Weavers, protect the Glucks, and have to also force to be changed in their own aspects of doing things to where that behind-scenes scenario with how things are operating are not the same as they once probably were. I've always said that this dirt thing is like 80s NASCAR, you know, we're on the brink of blowing up. And I'm sure back in that day there was a lot of interesting politics in the backgrounds that not everyone knew about. But anyways, that's my few little thoughts on the scenario. It sucks what's happened to Loose Video. It sucks what happened to Paul Clayton. It sucks on many levels on all the things that are occurring and happening in a multitude of ways in this sport that we all love. But I think I made a really good point a couple videos ago when I said we all started out as fans. You start out loving it because everyone starts out as a fan. But once you progress into other sectors of this sport, outside of just being a viewing participant, the love for the sport slowly dwindles away. For many people, especially those within media, we're seeing it with drivers. We're seeing it with a bunch of people involved. We're seeing it with crew members choosing to go different routes in their careers. We're seeing it in multiple areas. But no regulation, no standards. People say they love that. American values. Those are the American values. I buy it, I pay it, I do it how I want. You can't tell me what to do with my property. You should not be able to put regulation. You know, that's kind of like even in the political world. Big regulation is the enemy of American-based freedoms. But then the literal foundation of American freedoms and freedom of speech and expression, those hardcore pledges of allegiance to those ideologies are fought and battled against. The hypocrisy is unbelievable. And once again, more reasons as to why love sometimes just isn't enough. And it ain't hard to get to where some of these people have ended their involvement in the sport. And it sucks. It sucks. Sometimes love is taken advantage of, and that's when it gets even really worse, when your love and your effort is not respected. And if the sport and the people involved in it don't respect you, then why would you keep working for something that you do love? Because love and respect are hand in hand. I can give love, but if I don't get respected for the love that I am giving, then I do not feel appreciated here and I leave. Not due to a lack of love, but due to a lack of respect. But who knows? Maybe this is the era of change. We'll see. We'll see. I will be at Chico this week. Hopefully we'll see some of y'all at the tracks. Be sure to like, comment below with your thoughts on this entire subject and situation. And as always, be sure to subscribe. Catch you next time.
This is how we ride. This is how we do.